I'm Brittany, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be making a spring 18th century robe à l'anglaise. Robe à l'anglaise. Robe à l'anglaise. Am I saying that any different? I feel like I am, but I don't know. Kind of a dress. I chose this style because I don't want to wear the hip cages. I don't have them, and I need to be able to fit through doors. This is just like a casual look. It's just for fun because it's spring, and I wanted to make something kind of spring fun-esque. The day... So the weather in Wisconsin, one day it was so nice. I could just wear a nice light sweater out and about, and then the next day, the worst blizzard we have had in a long time. And any of me will put it in. And that lasted for 2 days, the blizzard. And the snow lasted maybe a week. It's mostly melted now. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so cut this all out last night. I have the sleeves there. This will be the skirt. This is one thing that I will always say is great about if you're using tablecloths, or in my case I'm using old sheets. They're already hemmed, so this will be perfect. And I also did that with the sleeve. I was not able to do it for the top because of the angle. If it had been straight, I could have, but couldn't. This is the general design that I was kind of going for. I did contemplate maybe doing where I had it on the side, and then I was like, oh, maybe the middle. So I did like half and half, and I decided the middle. This would be like the 18th century like ruffles that they would do with fabric. But the thing is what's left of the sheet that I used for that is not very much. So I will cut it and see if I can get enough fabric for the ruffles. I use the flat sheet for the top part, and then I have the fitted sheet that I'm going to use for the underskirt. Editing me will pop in a picture of what that will look like, the idea of it, because you have to have the underskirt, and then this will be like the overdress type thing happening. I also noticed that they do where they have the cut off, so I don't know what the purpose is of that, but I did it. And because this is lower, I knew I wanted it to be higher. I don't know if I did it high enough. Now that I look at it, I should have just done it straight and then figured it out later, because I wasn't entirely sure. I definitely do not have enough to do the lining for this. So I went into my scrap buckets random flat fabric that I have, and I found this flannel. The thing is, I want this to be spring, because the sheet is cotton, and I know that this is, I think that this is cotton, but I don't know if it'll be quite as breathable, but it's all that I've got, so I'm gonna have to go with it. So the plan is, did I already say this? If in case I didn't, if I don't get enough ruffles to do this whole thing, because I wanted it to do like down this on the thing, and then on the bodice itself here, all the way down, all that stuff. I don't think I will have enough for that. So if I only have enough to do, say, this top part, I'll do. I could always do it in a contrasting color, but I haven't decided yet. So I sewed the arm strap to the back part of both the outside and the lining. I sewed the sleeves and this. I've never made the ruffle before because I never needed to, but like basically, hold on, let me clear this away. I guess I looked it up to see how it was done, and like you sew loops, so you kind of like bias tape, but it's not sewn, and then you do loops like this, and then they're pressed down and sewed like that. It's hard to do with just one hand. If I can find like a thing of it, editing me will put it in. I don't know if I'm gonna like the look of that though. Like, it's basically, will that look good? Is it worth the time? But yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is sew the lining onto this, and I'll just do the neckline, and I'm going to skip the armholes this time. I'm going to remember because I'm going to put the sleeves on over, and I'm going to use this to cover up the seam for the sleeves. I guess I'm just gonna have to maybe use the serger stitch, because I don't know if I want to take the time to hand stitch it down. Haven't decided that yet though. So yeah, so far it's been very simple, just time consuming. All right, let's go. Okay, gotta be careful because there's pins in this. There's definitely some gapping on this side, but not on the other. In the back right here. Okay. There is a little bit of here. This is with my corset and the padding on and stuff. I think it's better, but I wasn't. I wanted to have it have like a deeper, obviously, like a rounded front, because that's closer to time period, but with having to bring it in so much. Hopefully this is steady. Sorry. There is some gappage up top here, so maybe going down around the neckline as well. So I've done a couple fittings and I've locked this in. I've finished the edge here. This is where the skirt will stop on both sides. So I'm just going to flip it right sides out and then pin the skirt to it. So I was just gonna pin the skirt to the top when I realized I forgot about this part. This is the top of, because this is a twin size. So I feel like that will look weird because this will be at the front. It'll be visible. So I am just gonna have to trim it and hem this part. They didn't do mildered edges, corner. I'm not saying that right, but you know what I mean. So it won't be too big of a difference, so that should be easy. I have this lace. I actually have a couple different kinds of lace. And then I also found this lace that I was able to pilfer. I just don't know which will work best. I'm mostly thinking for the edge of the sleeve, but then it should also be kind of incorporated other places if I do that. But I'm going to decide what kind of lace I use after it's all together, because I feel like that'll help me decide. I do have like this ribbon that I was thinking I could do on the back of the bias tape type stuff I made of the yellow fabric for the ruffles, for like a little pop of white, and I feel like that would work great with whatever lace I use, because all of this lace is white. I am not a big trim person. I'm not a big, like, if you've noticed about my stuff, I usually go for very minimal decorations and stuff. I think the most I did was for the Civil War era clothes that I did. That is the most I've ever done, the embroidery on both. So I just prefer a simple look, but I feel like with this one you kind of have to. But I'm gonna decide after everything's together. So that's the update. Okay, so the skirt is on. The sleeves are on. Now all I have to do is finish the right here, the same as I did down here. And then I'm going to add a line of hooks and eyes down here for the closing. So I will have to plot that now. That is going to take forever to sew. Hand sew. And then I should be ready to figure out the ruffles and all of that stuff. Now I just have to learn how to do that because I've never made ruffles before. Or, you know, like the type that I'm going to be using for this. Yeah. Okay. But so far, I'm looking at it, and it's looking pretty good. Sorry, the light, it's so bright outside that it's... Update on the weather. Still full of snow. Can you see how high the snow is from the cleared out part? I don't know why that's cleared out actually. So weird. So weird. Okay, so I finished the underdress. Skirt, I should say. Underskirt. Working with the fitted sheet was a bit more difficult than I realized because as I was doing the hem, I realized there was the part of the fitted sheet that kind of went up, so I had to even it out. So it's a little bit shorter than I was originally going for, but it'll work. It just needs a really good press, but it should work still. So I just ran into a problem. I tried it on to mark where I needed to put the lines for the eyes for the hooks, and the sleeves felt weird because there was a lot of pulling like right here, and I don't know if you can see how it's direction towards the back, and it's the same with the other. And then I looked at it. This is supposed to be further down like this. So I put the sleeves in wrong. This is something that is hard for me when there's no side seam to line it up with and no top seam really, because this isn't centered to the top like it would be. So like it should be the center side seam like right here and the center top seam right here. So it is slightly off that way. And I laid it flat and I tried to mark where they were, but I apparently didn't do a good enough job because they are completely wrong. And that explains why it felt so weird right here. I'm so irritated with myself because this is it's such a rookie mistake. It's fixable, but it upsets me because it's basically a half a day's work sewing the sleeves on, and then I finished the seams. That was a lot of work. A lot of hand sewing. So I'm gonna have to seam rip it all out and redo it. And to be frank, I can't be bothered to redo the hand sewing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sew them together and then serge or stitch, because I can't be bothered to do it again. I just can't. I still have all of the hand sewing to put these in, the eyes for the hooks in. Plus I've noticed some pilling, because like I said, these are sheets that I got out of our linen closet. So there is a little bit of, I don't know if you see the pilling happening. So I'm gonna have to get my, what is that called? Where it takes care of that thing. I have one of those, so I'm gonna have to do that. It's mostly, I'd say it's really bad on this sleeve. Or was it this sleeve? Oh yes, this sleeve too. And a little bit on the skirt. So I haven't ironed it yet. Yeah. So that's just so dang irritating. I've finished the ruffle. I was going to do all of this, but just the little bit that I did here, just this little bit, took hours. I'm not even exaggerating. Could you imagine having to do this by hand? Like, oh my gosh. So what I did was 2 inches, 1 inch, 2 inches, and that's how I marked it. and then just sewed the loops. And now I will have to iron it down like this, all of them down like that, flat, and then hand sew this like this. So that gives you kind of an idea of what it looks like. I'm gonna do that with all of them. So yeah, this is the final. I was hoping for better weather so I could go to a park, but it is so muddy, which is why I stuck to the paved pathway in our backyard. Otherwise I would be sinking in the mud. I might set up a background and maybe do a little something in the reveal. You know, right now, me, present day, doesn't. If I feel like doing that, maybe I shouldn't say that and then make it. Anyway. But yeah. For the spur of the moment, out of a whim making, I'm very happy with this. I would say the thing that took the most time and was the most labor intensive part for me was the trimming, since I've never done that before. I will say I sewed it on before I did this part of the sewing, and I think, hindsight, I should have just done it all before I put it on. Also, for some reason, there seems to be some pulling on this one, and then is some kind of bagginess and down here, which is very odd. I don't know why that's happening. But okay, kind of done. Overall, I'd say it's great because it's just like a casual cotton dress that I feel like I could easily wear to a Ren Fair if I wanted to, or just for fun. Also, the hair, I really feel like the hat saved the hair, which I wasn't normally, because normally I just don't wear hats. I'm not a big hat person. So in case you're wondering, I got this ages ago when I was a kid, at Build-A-Bear, with the one and only Build-A-Bear I ever got. Or no, never mind, I got two. But yeah, the very first Build-A-Bear that I got. And I saved it because I used it as a fastener hat, but every time I try to put it on, I'm like, oh no, it looks weird. And this is the first time I really feel like it actually goes. So that's a little odd for me.
But yeah, also, I don't know if you can tell, I used the padding that I made years and years ago. I used the hip padding and the bum roll padding. That's why I chose this style, because I didn't want the hip cages, because I don't have hip cages and I need to be able to fit through doors, and so I didn't want to make something that like could only be used for that. It could totally be used for that because of the way I made the skirt, so it would work if I wanted to, but it's not required. But yeah. And I remember to take my glasses and my watch off for the reveal outside, which I, for some reason, have a really hard time remembering. I always forget, and I should totally, on my stand, have like a sign, did you take your glasses off and your watch? And then have like a pouch for them to put it in or something, because I'm just always forgetting. When I did the wind-up doll one, I had the watch on, and I was just like, well, at least it's black and white, and then like, yeah, that was annoying. I was just like, but yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to and you're not subscribed, you can hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell for notifications so you can get notified every time I post a new video. Maybe give it a like, a comment, help me in the algorithm, all the YouTuber stuff, and it's necessary, but I always feel awkward asking. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! Are you gonna come over here? Oh, you're getting me all muddy. It's okay, I can watch.